It's game day, and I'm disappointed. I looked on Ticketmaster. Well, first off, I'm getting free tickets offered to me left and right. So that prompted me to check on Ticketmaster, and I see tickets are going for $30. It better not be a goddamn half-empty stadium there. This is a big game. AFC North division rivals. Steelers are still in this playoff mix. We're about to go on this second half run. The defense got TJ back. The defense looked lethal last week. The offense keeps improving. This is a good squad. Is it the cold? Are people scared of the cold? Bunch of fakes. But anyway, before we get into the picks and preview, let's just talk about the fact that Minkah Fitzpatrick is actually playing in this game. There were rumors and reports earlier in the week that signs were directed in that way, and it's actually happening. He was a full participant in practice multiple times this week. But if it was his way, he wouldn't have missed the Saints game. He said he wanted to play and then have the surgery after. Basically, he would have had an appendectomy. I guess that would have been Sunday night. Played in a Saints game and then probably played in this Bengals game, just seeing how everything played out. He wouldn't have missed a football game. Just built different. One of my concerns is just I'm hoping Minkah's making the best decision for him. He's not putting himself in further harm's way. You got to think with Tomlin as our coach, having the Steelers doctors, UPMC doctors, the best doctors in the world here in Pittsburgh, that they're looking out for Minkah. They're making sure he's not putting himself at further risk here. So I'm assuming everything's good to go. Thumbs up. Big salute to Minkah, though. Let's get into the picks and preview. Did really well last week. Account balance was at $43.23 to start. Ended up with $75, and I don't know what the actual cent total is. Hold on, let me check real quick. Have it written down in my notes. $75.27. So we made a grand total of $32.04. And as I'm looking through what hit, Steelers money line, Pickett over on the passing touchdowns didn't hit. Najee Harris over 41.5 rushing yards. Kenny Pickett, no interceptions. Didn't hit on Freiermuth over on the receiving yards. Pickens over on the receiving yards. But the can't miss parlay didn't miss again. But then as I'm strolling up even further, I bet my final $5.23 in my account for TJ Watt to get a sack. He got a sack, right? $0 returned. What the fuck? What am I missing here? TJ Watt recorded the sack against Andy Dalton. Let me check the stats again. Hold on, TJ Watt. Stats. They took it away from him. Wait, they didn't give him that. They really didn't count that. I guess it was at the line of scrimmage. That was definitely a sack. That's bullshit. It is what it is. NFL is just screwing over the Steelers. First, they flex our Sunday night football game. Now they're not recording TJ Watt sacks. What else is next? But here's our picks for this week. I'm going to go rapid fire and then just give a brief recap at the end of why I think some of these things are going to happen and why the Steelers win this game. We got a Kenny Pickett anytime touchdown score, Najee Harris anytime touchdown score, same game parlay, Deontay Johnson 40-plus receiving yards, and Pat Freiermuth 40-plus receiving yards. T. Higgins under 72.5 yards, George Pickens over 42.5 yards, Najee Harris over 45.5 rushing yards, Kenny Pickett over 1.5 passing touchdowns. It finally happens this week. And also, Pittsburgh Steelers money line. Got 15 on that for a $39.60 payout. Odds at plus 164. And then finally, the can't miss parlay. Kind of weak on this one with the odds only plus 577, but we got the Steelers spread plus 3.5. Najee Harris over 25 rushing yards. Deontay Johnson over 25 receiving yards. Pickens over 25 receiving yards. Kenny Pickett, 200-plus passing yards. Over 7.5 total points for the Steelers in the first half. Over 17.5 total points for the Steelers in the game. The anytime touchdown scores with Pickett and Najee Harris, I'm just hedging that one. I put 2 on Pickett for the QB sneak because the odds were a little bit higher, better value there. I put 5 on Najee Harris. I just think we're going to be in the red zone multiple times, so it's either going to be a Kenny Pickett QB sneak or Kenny Pickett dumps it off to Najee Harris or Najee Harris just runs it in at the goal line. I like my chances with those right there. And then the receiving yards, I just feel like I got the parlay with Pat Freiermuth and Deontay Johnson over 40 there. And then Pickens on his own with 42.5. I like the matchup. I don't think the Bengals corners are that good. A couple of them are banged up coming into this game, but I do think Mike Hilton's going to play. And then they're going to have Eli Apple. I'm not sure about Trey Flowers, but their main guy Owuzie, he's out for the season on IR. And Pickett continues to get more and more comfortable as the quarterback in this offense, and these are the three main targets. There were talks about Pickett missing some deep shots last week. I think he's a student of the game. He's going to be looking for them this week, especially in a favorable matchup like this. So I like the Steelers receivers getting some yards, racking up some points, potentially scoring a touchdown, even though I don't have it marked on here. I don't know who it's going to be, but I do have Pickett getting the over on the 1.5 passing touchdowns. But on the other side of the ball, T. Higgins with the line of 72.5 receiving yards. I am taking the under. This one actually seems too good to be true for me. You have T. Higgins the last two games without Jamar Chase, not hitting that receiving total. We have a Steelers defense that is gaining a lot of momentum. We have this guy named TJ Watt back. Him and Highsmith are cooking. They're going to get pressure on Burrow. But also, it's not like our secondary is hurting right now. Obviously, we're getting Minka playing in this game. We got a KZ back. But also, if you want to just talk about our cornerbacks, Levi Wallace and Cam Sutton have been playing well. I know we don't have Witherspoon out there. But also, you even have like an Arthur Millette and James Pierre taking care of business as some depth guys. I don't know, man. If T. Higgins is going to be their best receiver, we're going to make sure it's a priority to stop him. And I feel like the Steelers defense, Mike Tomlin, they usually do a pretty good job when that's the case. So I feel like that one's just way too good to be true. Najee Harris over on the 45.5 rushing yards. That one also feels too good to be true. Did they not watch? Did FanDuel, did the Vegas lines, did they not watch the Steelers-Saints game? We found our identity. We're going to run the ball. It's going to be cold. We're going to give the rock to Najee Harris. So, I don't know, man. I just feel like overall, and this maybe could get me to my Steelers money line and just why I think we're going to win the game. I just feel like we're going to see more of what we saw from the Steelers from last week. But this week, I feel like it's actually going to be a little bit better because on defense, we're more healthy. Miles Jack is going to be back. We have Minka Fitzpatrick playing, so we have that safety trio. TJ Watt is further removed from his injury. He's a week removed from his debut coming back from injury, so he should only continue to cook as the season goes forward. Then on offense, we found our identity. We're going to run the ball. We're going to give the ball to Najee Harris and Jaylen Warren. Make it easier on Kenny Pickett. And then for Pickett, he knows not to turn the ball over. What did we see last week? And then even in the Eagles game, he was pretty clean in the Eagles game outside of that garbage time pick. Saints game, no picks. Now it's just, okay, can we balance that out with taking some more shots? Because a lot of the talk this week was there was some stuff there. And I like the Steelers matchup with the receivers versus Cincy's cornerback. So I think Pickett takes advantage. That's really it, man. I just think we play a solid, fundamental game all around in all facets. Offense, defense, special teams. Yeah, Matthew Wright bounces back as well. I'm telling you, he's going to prove me right on this. He is a good kicker. But, man, I just think this is a good team. And I was saying this all in the first half. The team is better than what the record indicates. We should have been at least 500 heading into the bye. I think the second half stretch is going to show that we are actually a good team. We're going to play good in all facets here. We're getting back to traditional Steeler football. Run the rock. When you need a clutch play from the quarterback, just be efficient. He's going to do that. Defense, lights out. That's the formula. I think we're going to continue to do that. So let me know what you guys think. Any bets that you're making. What do you think the score is going to be? Drop that down below in the comments. Stay chilling. Enjoy the game. Peace.